camshaft is on a 1/8 Passat. So actually the car belongs to Jeff, the service advisor, and Cody and him kind of worked out a deal because Jeff has another Passat where the motor went kaput. When Jeff first got this Passat, it was making a bit of noise, just kind of lots of rattle, and there's a little bit of metal shavings in the oil. Initially, I think his plan was to just run it until the engine popped, but we started seeing camshaft failures on the 1/8, so we suspected that that's probably what he's got going on. And then we actually had a used Golf that we had. We ended up putting a motor in it because we had no compression on cylinder 4, and with the bore scope, you could see that the walls were pretty scored. So we pulled that motor out, and so we had it kind of sitting here, and they worked out a deal. He was gonna take the camshaft out of this motor, put it in his current Passat so that Cody can have his old Passat. That's the deal, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, it might have changed since, but that's currently the deal.
It's working out so far.
Yeah. So Cody came in over the weekend, swapped out the camshafts, and then for shits, opened it up. And, you know, our suspected diagnosis was correct. The camshaft is actually, you can see, broken on all of the lobes here. So as oil comes in to these ports here, it adjusts the timing back and forth. And over time, the check valve that holds it locked broke out of here, right? It was all in pieces.
Yeah, it's not in pieces, but you can see how it rolls.
Okay, so like it was popping out of there.
Yeah,
so we were hearing it kind of, you know, clack back and forth at idle, and so that's why we're like, yeah, it's more than likely this is what it is, and not like a worn bearing, like I said, because we had seen a couple other 1/8s fail. So Cody tore it apart, and like I said, you could see every one of these lobes is cracked. This thing was literally hanging on by dear life. Like, not much longer would this thing have lasted before it would have broke off, and essentially wouldn't be able to turn the camshaft, so then the pistons would have ran into the open valves that were open. Every once in a while we see people get lucky where it doesn't hit, but more than likely it would have been a done deal. Oh yeah, you can see that one's completely busted free. Oh, they all are.
Yep.
So basically just the groove of the crack was kind of like holding it together.
Yeah, everything just being bolted together. I don't know how it...
See, here's where that little detent holds. On the back side here, holds that little plug. They're pretty wild. So if you got a 1/8 TSI, Volkswagen or Audi, and you got, you know, what kind of sounds like a camshaft snapping noise back and forth, more than likely this little pin and detent has failed, and over time, you know, it beats these lobes so bad that it'll crack them like that, and then yeah, essentially it's about ready to leave the chat.